Hey, how's it going everyone? First Adam here. Last couple of days I've been testing and experimenting with some different Atlas strategies, trying to find which ones are still profitable with this league and which ones aren't. Today I tested an older Atlas strategy that I've used in the past, and so far it is pretty profitable for this league. It seems it has not been touched by any nerfs for the loot drops or anything like that. In this video I'll be going over the Atlas strategy for Delirium orb farming, the cost it is to run the strategy, and the profits you can expect from it. Before we get into this video, I would like to share that to run this strategy I am playing my Chieftain Righteous Fire build. If you're interested in this build, I will post a link to Pox's PoE and build guide in the description below. For this Atlas strategy, I'll first go over the Scarabs and then the map, and then I'll dive into my Atlas tree and what I recommend for that. So for the Scarab setup, we're going to want to run 2 Delirium Scarabs of Mania and then 3 Delirium Scarabs of Paranoia. So the Mania is going to make it so the rewards from the Delirium fill up 100% faster, and this stacks up to twice. We get 200% increased progress for our rewards. It's going to really help us stack those rewards, so when we end the Delirium, we get a whole bunch of extra rewards. To coincide with that, the Delirium Scarab Paranoia adds 2 additional rewards at the start of the mirror. By default, you typically start with just a couple, and each one adds 2 additional rewards. So you're guaranteed adding 6 additional rewards right out of the gate, and when that's stacked with the Mania, you're going to fill those up really quickly, and every time you get to the 3rd reward, it adds a new reward onto your reward track. So our whole goal here is trying to get as many rewards as possible, so therefore when we end the Delirium, we get as much loot as possible from the mirror. For the map, we're just running a simple T16 8-mod map, nothing fancy, no nightmare maps, no memory maps or anything. For the map itself, the #1 priority is pack size. You want to try and get as much pack size as you can, though we don't want to overpay for it. There's kind of breakpoints. 40% increased pack size are pretty cheap. This particular map here that we're looking at cost me 5 chaos to buy. You can often find these for 3 to 5 chaos a piece. The rarity does not play any important role into this, so that does not matter. The quantity isn't as important as pack size. It's just kind of an added bonus, because the quantity does not affect the rewards from the Delirium. It just affects ground loot that you get from killing monsters and things like that. So if you can get higher quantity, great, but don't overpay for it. Okay, now for the Atlas tree, we are speccing into a couple different things. First, we want to come off to the right here, pick up some of these breach nodes. Breaches are great because they spawn a whole lot of extra monsters, allowing us to fill up those rewards in the Delirium a lot faster. Then we'll branch up the middle here, we'll pick up these shrines, and then we'll want to be taking all map modifiers that increase the explicit modifiers on maps. This just helps with just overall loot in the map, which is kind of nice. We'll be picking up pretty much all the Delirium nodes. Over here we'll take that which you seek. This just gives us a higher chance to get the map to spawn. We'll be taking this entire wheel with the exception of the notable here at the bottom. And then we'll also branch off and take all of these beyond nodes. And then we'll branch up here to the red altars. You can do blue altars if you want, because you will be over here already. Red altars I just prefer because the monsters spawn in much faster. And when you're doing a Delirium mirror, if you don't have high clear speed, time is of the essence. So the faster you can get the mobs in and kill them, the faster you can complete the map, which means your profit per hour goes up. But if you already have good clear speed, the blue altars will give overall better percentages, increased quantity and items dropped, and there's always a chance to get an altar that drops a divine orb. But for the overall purpose, I choose red altars because they're easier and much faster. We'll also branch over here, take these remaining beyond nodes, particularly the major node here, the Endless Tide. This makes it so Beyond bosses do not spawn, so Beyond stays on our map the entire time. Beyond just adds a whole bunch of extra mobs to the map, again, fueling the rewards of the Delirium. And then we'll also come up here to the Compulsive Hoarder. We'll take all these nodes here, That way, when we spawn into a Delirium map, there's a chance that we get additional rewards on that track. Then we'll come up here and take the rest of these red nodes. We only want these ones because increase pack size and increase altar spawn chance. We don't care about the nodes on the left here because these just don't really play any benefit into the map itself. And then we'll keep going across the top. We want to take pretty much the hat of the Atlas tree. Taking these increased monsters in your maps are good, and then the multiplying modifiers. Again, for each modifier on a map, you increase the map effect 3% per modifier, and since we're running 8 mod maps, this stacks up quite fast. And we'll come down here, take up these few Delirium nodes, Paranoid Fixation, just so that way we have increased chance for Delirium orbs to drop. If you want more cluster jewels, you can take these other 2 here. You'll just remove the points from somewhere else in the tree, but in my opinion, the cluster jewels are not the primary focus, so we're not really trying to get more of those to drop. You will get plenty cluster jewels to drop, so it's not a concern of mine. And then we'll also come up here to take the Imagined Pursuit. So therefore, when we complete the map and we kill the map boss, it will add +1 to all rewards that we have. And we continue taking all these little map modifier nodes all the way down to the side here. And then down here, we'll take these breach nodes, and we'll take Violent Skirmish, so therefore breach encounters are just faster, again saving us time is needed. Then over here we'll take these other breach nodes, Missing Forces, therefore we have a chance to spawn additional unstable breaches. The more breaches we can get, the more mobs we get, the faster we can fill it up. And then we'll also come down here, just so therefore the only breaches that can spawn are going to be unstable breaches. Unstable breaches are the ones that we want. They spawn the fastest, they give us the most loot, and they give us the most mobs. Now our primary focus is not to farm breaches, but the breach mobs themselves to fill the rewards from the Delirium Mirror. You will get loot from the breaches, but that is not our primary focus. So when you're running the map, don't feel like you have to complete every single breach. Fill up the meter, wait for the rares to spawn, kill them. It's really you start it, kill all the mobs as fast as you can, and even if you don't complete the breach or you don't fill up the bar, move to the next pack. We don't want to sit around waiting for a couple mobs to spawn just to fill up that meter. We want to go from pack to pack as quickly as possible, fill up the meter as much as we can, then once we kill the majority of all the mobs in the map, we go and kill the map boss, and then increase our reward stack by 1. We end the mirror, collect our loot. So here is the entire atlas zoomed out. If you want to pause the video, so that way you can copy this, and I'll also post a link to this in the description below. The cost to run this per map is roughly 51 chaos. The most expensive part are honestly the Scarabs of Paranoia. These are about 14 chaos apiece. The Mania are 1 to 2 chaos apiece, and the maps are 3 to 5 chaos. Okay, for the live demonstration, you just come up to your map device. I like to use City Square because it's a giant square, the boss always spawns in the middle, and there's multiple bosses. So this is the easiest map to run for this strategy. Basically run around the outside edge, kill all the mobs, go to the center, kill the boss, close the mirror, collect your loot, leave, start again. This goes quite fast. You just open up City Square, which is in the lower left quadrant of your atlas here. Put in your Scarabs. Make sure to separate your Scarabs, because if you stack them up like this, then it does not use 3 of them, it'll use 1. So always make sure you unstack your Scarabs if you want to use more than 1, so long as the limit allows it. So here across the bottom left, you can see all the rewards from the Delirium. For your red altars, pick whatever altars you want. I always choose player or minion, not the boss, because choosing the boss altars can make it so the bosses are incredibly tanky and you may not be able to kill them. Don't worry about picking up too much loot right now, only kind of pick up the really important pieces, because after we're done running the map, we will go back and pick up any notable loot. Because right now we just want to make sure that we run this as quickly as possible. And I'm not going to be finishing that breach because we got 90% of the mobs that spawn from it. And there we go. That is pretty much all that we're going to do. We'll come over here, kill the boss. And that's it. You can click the End Delirium right over here. And we wait for our loot. May not look like much. Looks kind of like low tier loot, but it adds up quickly. And our primary focus is to farm the Delirium orbs. So from this one, we got 4 fine Deliriums, we got 3 armor smith, and 2 jewelry Delirium orbs. The nice thing is that the fine Delirium, because these sell for quite a bit. I use Awaken Trade to price check. These particular ones sell for 17 chaos apiece. So this more than makes up for the cost of this entire strategy. Now you can go back through. We got a bunch of decent loot to drop. I'm just showing this in real time so that way you guys can get an actual good estimate about how long a map typically takes. Now, since I got a Grand Altar, I am going back picking up all these. Normally, if it was just, you know, a Scouring Orb and some Alchemy Orbs, I would not go back and pick them up. But because we did get a Grand Altar, those are worth about 10 chaos apiece. So just going back through, picking up any of the extra loot, and that's it. Alright, and that's pretty much the entire run that you'll be doing. Okay, I've gone ahead and ran a sample size to showcase the profit that you can earn from this. I ran 10 maps. All 10 maps took me about 24 to 25 minutes to run. Here is the results of those 10 maps. So we got a whole bunch of different bubblegum currency over here. A couple valuable scarabs and everything. We found one Valdo's puzzle box, but most importantly are the orbs that we found. So we found quite a few orbs. The most expensive ones are going to be the Fine Delirium, the Diviners, and also the Skittering. The rest of these don't sell for too much. Each orb typically sells for about 11 chaos, these lower tier ones. And then the Fine Delirium orbs, if I'm using Awaken Trade here to price check them, are 17 chaos for Fine, 22 chaos for Diviners, and 22 chaos for Skittering. Now, one thing that you can do if you want to gamble and potentially double or triple your profits is you take your orbs over to the Hoarder crafting station, put in a stack, search for orb. Here you can exchange a stack of Delirium orbs and it will change it into another stack at random. It doesn't say which one it's going to, it's just all random. But the problem is it costs 300 life force to do a stack of 10. Now it prices it 30 per orb. So if you have 10, it's 300. If you have 1, it's only 30. The problem is 300 life force is 13 chaos. So each click is 13 chaos. And right now, these jeweler orbs, for example, are selling for 12 chaos apiece. So if we can hit a Fine Delirium, a Diviners, or Skittering within 1 or 2 clicks, it is profitable. Anything more than that, it's not. So it's kind of a gamble. Sometimes you'll hit it first try, sometimes you won't. Before, I will try this here just to show it, but to kind of give you an overall look of what all the loot is, so all the Delirium orbs, the Simulacrum maps, and all the other bubblegum loot. We did get 2 nice divination cards, the darker half. These are 54 chaos apiece, but everything combined is 12 divines. So in 25 minutes, I made 12 divines. The cost to run all 10 maps was, I have it right here, 2.6 divines. So in roughly 24 minutes, I made 9.3 divines in total profit. That's before converting any of the Delirium orbs. So now let's try converting. I'm going to buy just some additional life force here. I'll buy 5,000. And let's just see what we can do. So I'll just do the stacks of 10 that I currently have. So these 3 stacks is what I'll change. You can change all of them, just for the purpose of this video I'm only going to do these 3. So one click, I hit Find Delirium Orb, so that is a massive profit. It cost me 13 chaos to do that, but I just made the stack go from 12 chaos per orb to 17 chaos per orb. So that is quite a profit increase. And we got it again. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So I just substantially increased my gains. So you can do that for the rest of these. Like I said, the cost is based off of how many orbs you have. It's 30 life force per orb. So I'd say if you can get it within 3 clicks, it's worth doing. I didn't make it in 3 clicks, but I'm just going to finish that out 4 clicks. So there we go. So I had 5,700 or 5,300 life force. And I have 2690 left. Minus 2690. So I used 2,610 life force. So if we come over here, if I were to buy that, 2,610. So it cost me 105 chaos to convert all the orbs to this. So I'm going to throw these into the stash, and I will price check them again. Okay, and Wealthy Exile has now updated, so I can now give the final results of converting the Delirium orbs into the more valuable versions, Find, Divine, or Skittering. You want one of those 3. So with that being said, I have increased the Divines from 12 to 13. So simply converting those made me an extra divine, a little bit more. It was like 1.2 additional divines. So it's one of those things that you have to outweigh the cost because it is a gamble. I got lucky in a couple of those, getting the Find Delirium orbs on the first click, but if it takes 3 or 4 for each stack, you won't make any profit because it costs 13 chaos per stack to convert. So it's one of those things where give it a shot. If you want to gamble it, great. If not, then just stay with what you have, and you'll still come out just fine. The final results. So I ran 10 maps, and before converting the Delirium orbs, I made a combine of 12 divines in about 25 minutes. This is 28.8 divines per hour before costs. After the cost of the maps, it's 22.5 divines per hour. If you choose to upgrade Delirium orbs, chance it and try to get some of the finer ones, using the maps that I just did and the Delirium orbs I earned from this, I got lucky on a few of them, but I was able to convert all of them into the finer ones. I made just over 13 divines per 10 maps, 13 divines in roughly 25 minutes. And if I were to do this for a full hour, that comes out to be 24.96 divines per hour. So converting them doesn't add a whole lot to your profits. It very well may, But even if you choose to play it safe and just sell the orbs as is, you're still making well over 20 divines an hour. That's it for this build and for this guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any recommendations, let me know in the comments below. If there's anything that you would like to adjust in this or have me try, also let me know in the comments below. But appreciate you guys watching, and have a good day.